Well, I was engaged to Ben, and living in LA, and felt like, yes, I want to make movies and marry Ben. Jesus, I was only 19 or 20. I never felt older in my whole life. But if I was honest with myself, there was a small part of me that felt dead or deadish. But you tell yourself no one is perfect. No relationship is perfect. Oh boy, this tea is delicious. Anyway, you were asking about Charlie, so yes, so I was happy with Ben, but aware of the deadness. And then I went to New York to meet a director for a space movie, but one where they take space seriously. Sex trafficking in space. It was political, or they wanted us to think it was. It actually fulfilled the same need that certain fucked up porn does. Anyway, while I was there, the producer invited me to a play. It was in someone's lounge room with all the lights on and like nothing I'd ever seen before. A strange, surreal, dystopian story. So well acted, and one of the actors was dressed as this big shaggy bear and played all of his lines looking directly at me. Which I knew of course couldn't be really the case, but it felt that way. And of course, later I learned that it was. These cookies are really great too. Afterwards, I was introduced to the cast, and the bear turned out to also be the director. He didn't really know who I was, or he did, or he figured it out later. And that was it. He started talking to me, and I talked back. And the dead part wasn't dead, it was just in a coma. And it was better than sex, the talking, though the sex was also like the talking. Everything is like everything in a relationship. Do you find that? We spent the whole night and the next day together, and I just never left. And to be honest, all of the problems were there in the beginning too. I just followed him in his life because it felt so damn good to feel myself alive. In the beginning, I was the actress, the star, so that felt like something. People came to see me at first. But then, the further away I got from that and the more the theatre company got acclaim, I had less and less weight. I became who? Oh, you remember that actress who did that thing that time? And he was the draw, which would have been fine. But I got smaller. I realized that I never really came alive for myself. I was just feeding his aliveness. He was so smart and creative, it didn't matter. I would tell him things at home in private, and they would work their way into public conversation or into his work, and for a while, that felt like enough. I was just so flattered that someone like him would find an idea of mine worth using or a comment of mine worth repeating. And then I got pregnant. And thought having a baby will be ours, really ours. But it will also really be mine. And he was so excited, and it was nice for a while, but kids, they belong to themselves. Like the instant they leave your body, it's just a process of going away from you. And I didn't belong to myself. It was stupid stuff and big stuff. All of the furniture in his apartment was his taste. I didn't even know what my taste was anymore, because I'd never been asked to use it. I didn't even pick the apartment, I just moved into his. I made noises about wanting to move back to LA, but it all came to nothing. We would come here on holidays because he liked my family. But whenever I suggested we do a year here or something, he would just put me off. It would be so weird if he turned to me and say, "And what do you want to do today?" I watched that long documentary about George Harrison and thought, own it. Just own it like George Harrison's wife. Being a wife and a mother is enough. But then I couldn't even remember her name. So this pilot came along, and it shot in LA, and it paid so much. And it was like someone was throwing me this little lifeline. Here is a piece of earth that is yours. And I was embarrassed about it in front of him, but I also felt like this is who I am. This is what I'm worth. And it's stupid, but at least it's mine. And if he had just taken me in a big hug and said, "Baby, I'm so excited for your adventure, and of course I want you to have your own piece of earth," then maybe we wouldn't be getting a divorce. But he made jokes and is jealous like he is. But then he realized about the money and said that I could funnel it back into the theatre company. And that's when I realized that he didn't really see me. He didn't see me as something that was separate from himself. So I asked him to say my phone number, and he didn't know it. So I left. Oh, and also I think Charlie was sleeping with this Marianne, the stage manager.